So I'm here today with a short little walkthrough on how I created my second single, Love at the 11th Hour. So, I've just opened up the Logic file that I was working on back in November 2020 when I started working on this song. So if I just open up the initial tracks under demo tracks, this whole song started off with a little 7-note idea. I'll just play it for you now. So I took this little 7-note idea on guitar and I looped it throughout the song. As you can see, I've got it in the verse, the pre-chorus, the post-chorus, the second verse, and the outro. So this little 5/4 guitar part, I decided that it would be fun to try and underpin it with a different time signature chord sequence. So using the same notes, I created this little 11/8 chord sequence. So if I play them both together, you will see how they overlap and how they work with each other. So it did sound a bit messy having guitar chords underpin the guitar melody, especially with them being in two odd time signatures. So if I just mute that, I decided to play the chords, which these three are all exactly the same. It's just the same chords, just I tripled them up. So I've got them on Classic Suitcase, Jazz Fusion organ, and then a bright Mark II blackface piano. So this will just create a bit more separation and stop them sounding, stop the guitar merging in with the chords. As you can hear, that makes a world of difference. So once I had my keys sorted, and then I had my lead part, it was time to add bass. So this is the bass part that I added. If I'll solo just the bass. Okay, so as you can hear, this whole section it's all in 11/8. The only part that's in 5/4 is the guitar part. Okay, now I personally thought that worked quite well, so I decided to add in some drums. I have these MIDI drums, which are just the placeholder, which I then replaced with live drums when I could get in the studio. So the final section before we move on to the chorus is the vocal sample. Now this is a Cymatic sample taken from their Euphoria sample pack. So I'll just solo just the vocal samples. There's about 4 or 5 different sound samples in it, and I just cut them and pasted them to create a almost song-like set of phrases. So that's the whole of verse 1. Now, in order to go from a 11/8 into a 5/8 section, I had to put in a couple of bars of 7. So as you can see, it's got it in. It starts in 11/8. There's 2 little bars of 7 which lead into the verse. So it's intro leading into verse, and then we have the same again. We have we have a little bar of 7, which takes us from the verse into the chorus. So as you can see, there are 3 main parts of the chorus. Well, instrumentally, 3 main parts. There's the bass part. There's a solo, the bass part. And then we've got the hard rock chords. Okay, so I added these hard rock chords in to complement the bass part, so we'll play them both together. So you can hear that. And then I added in some piano chords. Well, I started off on the vintage Strat, but yet again didn't sound great, so I played them on the piano instead. So we just play, and this kind of chorus idea goes on all the way to the end of here. I did bring in some just mute them, some percussion in the end, just kind of give it a little lift. Okay, my percussion isn't working, but that is a shaker. That's supposed to be a shaker anyway. So I've added in a little shaker at the end, which just takes it into the second verse. Well, the post-chorus section, which leads into the second verse. So yeah, again, we have our drum part. For some reason, the drums, something's changed and the drums aren't really working very well, so I won't demonstrate them now. We'll talk about them properly in a sec. And then the final part of the chorus is this one sample, which I repeated over and over again. And then we drop out after this section to the intro. So we go to the post-chorus, which is the same as the intro. So it's 5/4 guitar part over the top of an 11/8 keys part. Okay, we have the same issue as before in that trying to fit this 11/8 part back in, trying to get it looping. I had a few issues, so the only way I could get around them is by having 2 bars of 9/8 here. Then it's back into the second verse, which is, as you can see, is pretty much the same. The only difference is we now have some percussion which come in, okay? But the sample's the same, the bass part, guitar part, you know, everything. Okay, I did try adding in the rock guitar, but it sounded a bit too much. Where are we now? There we are. Yeah, again, we had the slight issue of going from an 11/8 part into a 5/4, so we equalised that with a little 2/4 bar, or sorry, 2/4 bars. But rather than a chorus, we go into a breakdown. which is played on the bass, as you can tell. And then we bring in the chords. Okay, now in this demo, we went straight back into the chorus. But if you listen to the final produced song, we have a guitar solo here. So we go from the bass breakdown into a guitar solo. So moving on. So we've got the chorus. And then we move into the outro, sorry. So this part is the outro. So that's the demo. That's basically a full run through of the demo of this song. So I took this demo and I sent it to a good friend of mine, Alex, who's a guitarist, who recorded the guitar parts. So I've just solo his guitar parts from the start. As you can see, Alex basically played a similar part to my MIDI parts, because I wanted to keep the same feel of the song. I just wanted a bit more development on certain parts. So scrolling across. So I've got that, and then the power chords come in. We've got the power chords in the chorus. Okay. Then it's after the chorus, back into the verse, saying the riff, and then we move towards the guitar solo. This bit's the bass. We have the bass breakdown. Dum, da 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 da, so forth and so forth. We move through the bass part. And then back into the chorus. And then that plays to fade out. And then the next step was to have some live bass, because the bass was quite boring. It's very basic, and it's just very similar to the riff. I just kind of underpinned it to open up the bass, just to kind of show how basic it is. As you can hear, the bass is pretty simple. I'm not a bassist. I did it on a tiny little MIDI keyboard. So I sent it to another good friend of mine, Seb, who sent me his audio. So it was really good, really impressed, and really pleased with it. So I just did a quick little bit of editing, I had to flex time a few little notes, with it being a very difficult song in very odd time signatures. So I'd flex the part a little bit, and I just had a little bit of flexing on it. Okay, you get the idea. Now, the last part was to record my drums. So I went into a studio and recorded my drums. This is the take that I went with. I went with take 4. So I recorded with kick in, kick out, 2 snares, hi-hat mic, tom, high tom, floor tom, 2 overheads, and then a room/overhead center. So I'll just play these. Okay, so you get the idea. So at this point, I basically abandoned this project and opened up a new one for the mixing stage of things. I then sent this to Alex, who helped me with the mix and master of the song. So this is the pre-master. So I've got my instrumental bus, I've got my keys bus, which is yet again using the same 3 that I'd used before. Then I've got my vocal sample, I've got 2 bass parts which we mix slightly differently. I've got my 5/4 guitar part, then I've got my power chords, then I've got my guitar solo, and then finish with my drum chains. Here you go. This is the full mixed project, and then I sent it off for mastering. So I'll just close that. Okay, so I'm now going to finish just by opening up the finished song, Love at the 11th Hour single. This is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, Tidal, anyone that you want to use. It's available on all the streaming sites, as well as iTunes and all the places that you can buy, stream, download, whatever. So anything that you do to any streams, any buys, anything you do like that to help me is very, very much appreciated, and I really do thank you all, everyone that's already listened, streamed, downloaded. I really do appreciate all the support. So I'm just going to finish by playing the full song, and you can kind of see how the ideas that I took from the demo made their way through, how there's certain things in the demo that I got rid of, added, changed, sections slightly changed, and yeah, this is just kind of an end product. Here you go. Thank you so much for watching this, and please do, if you haven't already, go and check out my 2 singles that are out on all streaming platforms. There's Love at the 11th Hour and also For Better or For Worse. There's also a remix that Samurium did of For Better or For Worse, which has been released as well. So yeah, please do go like, share, and just and follow me on Instagram at OLI Music 1999. Or you can follow me on Facebook under OLI Music as well. So if you haven't already, please do go and do all them steps. Your support means so much to me, and just thank you so much for everyone that's been supporting me through this journey of like releasing my own original music. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.